Okay, folks, buckle up, because we're diving deep today into a place where history and mystery collide.
Sounds intriguing.
It is. We're talking about the USS Hornet.
Ah, the Hornet, a World War II aircraft carrier.
Exactly. A ship with an incredible past full of heroic battles and daring missions, but it also has a bit of a spooky reputation.
I've heard some stories about the Hornet being haunted.
You've heard right, and that's what we're here to explore today. Is the USS Hornet really haunted, or are these just tall tales spun from its intense history?
Let's find out.
Now, I know a lot of you are familiar with the Hornet's wartime achievements, so we won't dwell on that too much.
The Doolittle Raid, the Battle of Midway, it's all legendary stuff.
Right, but today we're focused on what happened, or what some say is still happening after the war.
The ghost stories, the unexplained phenomena.
Precisely, and we've got some fascinating reports to dig into.
Play them on me.
All right, so picture this. You're on a tour of the Hornet, walking through the dimly lit corridors.
Yeah.
And suddenly, you spot a shadowy figure out of the corner of your eye lurking near the engine room.
That's creepy.
And it gets creepier. Numerous people have reported seeing this figure, often described as a mechanic tinkering with equipment, even though the engine room is supposed to be deserted.
A phantom mechanic.
That's what they're calling him.
Yeah.
And it's not just sightings. People have reported hearing things, too.
Like what?
Whispers, muffled conversations coming from compartments that are supposed to be empty, especially around the area that was once a makeshift hospital during the Battle of Midway.
Now that's chilling, especially considering all the wounded sailors who were treated there.
I know, it really makes you think. Is it possible that some of the energy from those intense moments in the Hornet's history is somehow lingering?
It's definitely a possibility.
And it's not just random occurrences either anymore. These reports seem to be clustered around specific locations on the ship.
You know, that's a really good point. Places that saw a lot of action or emotion during a war, like the engine room,
Yeah,
the sick bay.
and even the chapel.
Oh, that's interesting.
There's an account from a former crew member who talked about feeling a presence near the chapel, but he described it as a comforting presence, not frightening at all.
So not all the reported hauntings are negative.
It seems that way, almost like some are echoes of the camaraderie and resilience the sailors relied on to get through those harrowing battles.
It really makes you wonder if these experiences are connected to the specific events that happened in those locations.
Right, like the engine room was crucial during battles. The lives of everyone on board depended on those engines running smoothly.
Imagine the pressure, the intensity of those moments.
And that intensity might have left some sort of energetic imprint.
You know, when you compare the Hornet's reports to those from other World War II ships, a pattern emerges.
What do you mean?
Well, the ships that saw the heaviest losses, the most intense battles, tend to have most frequent and varied paranormal reports.
Almost like the trauma is somehow embedded in the ship itself.
Exactly. It's a fascinating connection.
But here's the big question. Are we dealing with genuine hauntings, or is there a more logical explanation?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Some people might say it's overactive imaginations or the power of suggestion, but the consistency of these reports is hard to ignore.
Especially when they come from people who have no prior knowledge of the Hornet's history, and yet their experiences still align with specific locations and events.
It definitely gives you pause.
It does. So what do you think? Are we dealing with the spirits of fallen sailors or some kind of residual energy from the past?
Or maybe something else entirely.
It's a mystery that might never be fully solved.
But one thing's for sure, the USS Hornet is more than just a ship. It's a living museum, a memorial, and a place where history collides with the unexplained.
And if those spirits could speak, what stories would they tell about their time on board and the battles they fought?
That's something to think about, isn't it? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the USS Hornet.
Until next time.
Keep exploring, folks.
And keep an open mind.
You never know what you might find.
Out there.
See ya.
Bye.